Even today, there is no running away from anadpursahibresolution resolution. No running away. For the rest of the country also, not only for the Sikhs. Anadpursahib resolution is not about the Sikhs. It is about the country. It is about the need for decentralization. How could a document as categorical as this still be misrepresented mischievously, cunningly?
Who have been the people, who have been the institutions who misinterpreted Anandpur Sahib resolution as Khalistan?
I spoke to Indiragandhi also before Operation Blue Star.
The center was already biased against Punjab.
It is mischief. They understand Punjab, they know what the problem is, but they want to exploit it for their own political gain. I dare say that. I like Girilal Jain, for example.
Oh, I was about to say that.
Yeah, Girilal Jain. He wasn't a dumb man to be led by the nose. He knew everything.
People like
Times of India. But the things he wrote were vicious.
Killing of a very senior journalist, owner of a newspaper, Punjab History, Hind Samachar group of newspapers. Lala Jagat Narayan was shot dead by the boys. When I say
the provocation was that his writings were perceived to be anti-Sikh.
The Punjab never witnessed communal riots or communal violence like we saw in 2002 in Gujarat or in 84.
No, Punjab has never seen anything of that kind.
Punjab never had
till this day. It wasn't toppled by the Akali Dal. There was a split in the Akali Dal. Split into the Akali Dal. Mr. Badal formed a separate. Mr. Badal, Amrinder Singh, Captain Amrinder Singh, he was in the Akali Dal at that time. Sucha Singh Chotepur, Sukhjinder Singh. But the grapevine was that they had been assured by the centre that if you split and form a separate party, we'll support you from outside. And the other Akalis will also join you.
was this a mistake of the Akalis to have a political alliance with the BJP in 1997?
Not at all. Proximity of Harcharan Singh Badal to lkadwani is an open secret. And when did Mr. Badal ever come on record to say that we should have an alliance with BSP and not with BJP? Show me one statement by Mr. Badal. It was a party decision of which Mr. Badal was an important part. If BSP and Akalis had swept the elections, so had Akalis and BJP. The fact is that the BSP on its own disintegrated. It was only the Akali wave at that time, combined with the BSP, which was leading to these results. Some people say Mr. Badal gave unconditional support to BJP at the center, which is absolutely false. Punjab has got the maximum benefits through Mr. Badal from BJP governments, and I'll give you examples.
Why Akali Dal voted in favor of annulment of Article 370, knowing very much that this is against the spirit of federalism, more powers to the state?
It isn't. No, I say give it to all the states. I support that.
On the lines of Anandpur Sahib resolution, it will be like
I say give it to all the states. Jani Harpreet Singh Ji declares from the precincts of Sri Akaltakhat that all these leaders have lost the moral right to govern, to lead. He had not named only Sukhbir Badal. He had said all these leaders have lost the moral right to lead the community. I will be foolish to say that there is no need for any change in Akali Dal policies or etc. There is always a need for improvement.
no government ever of any political party has been able to wash its hands off from this allegation of corruption.
Absolutely true.
Hello viewers, welcome to the Story Talk. Hello viewers, welcome to the Story Talk channel once again. I am Prabjeet from Story Talk, and as you know, we have started a series of podcast interviews in English also, and today it will be the second podcast in English in line. And today we have a guest, a very special guest, Mr. Harcharan Singh Badal.
Harcharan Bains has a long experience of more than 4 decades of being close to the senior politicians, right from Sukhbir Singh Badal to Parkash Singh Badal. Both these politicians who are no more in this world, but Mr. Bains carries some interesting moments and some memories, and he has witnessed the contemporary history of Akali politics, which is at the back of his hand. And we welcome him right now. Besa, welcome to Story Talk channel.
Thank you so much. It's an honor, really. It's a great honor.
Let's begin from your Punjab Agriculture University days, where you have been teaching literature, if I am right. So, what kind of era was that when you were teaching in Punjab Agriculture University? I think you taught English literature. And what's the story behind your shifting your profile, job profile from teaching to a political advisor or political analyst or to media advisor to first, I think, Mr. Surjit Singh Banala in the mid-80s when he was the chief minister. So let's begin from there. How come so? First, you tell me about your PAU experiences as a teacher.
Okay. In fact, I started by teaching in way back, much before I went to the Punjab Agricultural University. I started in the Khalsa College, Gardshankar. And then I went to the Baring Union Christian College in Batala, a wonderful college. It was run by the Americans, and most of the staff senior staff, was also American. It was an amazing experience there also.
What was the year?
That was 74.
In 1974.
74. I studied in Khalsa College to begin with, Guru Gobind Singh, Khalsa College, Mahilpur. That's my alma mater. Mahilpur.
Is your hometown now?
That's my hometown. I was a student of the Khalsa school, then a student of the Khalsa College, and then I became a teacher in another Khalsa college near Mahilpur, that was Gardshankar, the Tehsil. It was a Tehsil at that time, I think still is. And then I went to the Christian college, and then I went to that Swami Vivekananda, some other name, but run by these guys. And then finally I came to the Punjab Agricultural University, which I think was a watershed. Till then, Ravjit, my approach to politics was more or less like yours is today.
For instance?
I really looked down upon both politics and politicians. And I considered them untouchable. I was a man of literature. I wrote poetry, wrote on academics and sports.
You have been doing some journalism also. I think you
I worked for the Tribune.
As a
for
sports
a long
reporter,
period.
You had begun at that time.
Sorry?
As a sports reporter, I think you began.
I began as a sports reporter because that's how I got the entry. I was looking for any excuse to enter there. So the first excuse that came was as a sports correspondent from Ludhiana. But that was a mere excuse because all I wanted was to put my foot in and then expand. And that's exactly how it happened. And my first report, incidentally, was on India versus Soviet Union. It was Soviet Union at that time. Hockey match in Ludhiana. So it was an amazing experience. Then since I'm a lover of cricket also, then I became a test match cricket commentator. And I covered internet.
At that time, it was only All India Radio, if I'm not wrong.
Both All India Radio and TV,
And
Doordarshan.
So what made you shift to politics in a role where you would be advising, tall Akali stalwarts like Surjit Singh Banala in the mid-1980s, if I am right?
Yeah, that's true.
So how this shift came up?
It came, it was a sort of historical coincidence because as I said before, my initial approach to politics was like any other sensitive persons today is that I sort of avoided them, sort of untouchables. I thought they're very cunning, clever, false people, corrupt people. Everything bad that you can associate with a human being, I associated with the politician. So from there to come to advising them, is quite a story. You see, what happened was till 1983. So I was writing basically on academic affairs, social issues, never on politics. My first article on politics was actually only a semi-political article. It was a wanted reassertion of sane nationalism. It was in 84.
1984, your first political...
It was just after the Operation Blue Star.
Okay, you wrote in which paper then?
This article was in the Tribune, but I wrote in many papers.
After Operation Blue Star?
After Operation Blue Star.
You wrote a column in the Tribune?
I wrote a column for a long, long time. One column in Punjabi Tribune, but I used to write occasionally for the English Tribune. But then after once Operation Blue Star took place, then I was invited. So this is how it happened. I was invited for a seminar.
After the army action on...
After the army action, since I had been writing on other affairs and social psyche, but not directly on politics, but still I was writing about the need for, psychic awakening. And I was writing on social affairs and need for religious harmony. So I got invited to a very significant seminar at Khalsa College, Amritsar, immediately after Operation Blue Star. And among the other speakers were only 5 speakers there. Mr. I.K. Gujral, Kuldeep Nayyar, Lieutenant General Jagjeet Singh Arora, myself, and Dr. Harish Puri. So we were 5. And later we did, same lectures in some other parts of the country also.
What was the topic of that seminar?
At that time, the topic basically was the need for a social reconciliation post-Operation Blue Star, the need to understand the Sikh psyche, and for both the Sikhs and the rest of the country, the government in particular, to have a secular view of things and not to treat the issue purely as an administrative problem or a law and order problem. There was a call for a psychological approach. In fact, I was among the first to highlight that Punjab problem is not a law and order problem. It's not a mere administrative issue. It is a political and psychological issue. To understanding the problems of the states, to give them more autonomy, etc.
Political autonomy.
Political. Actually, that remains, how do you define political autonomy? If you define political autonomy as more powers to the states, which is what Anadpursahib resolution calls for, there's nothing, they're perfectly legitimate. In fact, that is a need of even today, there is no running away from Anadpursahib resolution. No running away. For the rest of the country also, not only for the Sikhs. Anadpursahib resolution is not about the Sikhs. It is about the country. It is about the need for decentralization. And Anadpursahib resolution doesn't call for special status to Punjab or special powers to the Sikhs or special, decentralization, Punjab-focused decentralization. It calls for decentralization throughout the country. And it calls for a secular approach to that. So how could a document as categorical as this still be misrepresented mischievously, cunningly, and presented in an entirely wrong way?
So, Mr. Bains, since you have been in the thick of the media and in the thick of the political affairs later on, so if you could please open up and tell us, who have been the people, who have been the institutions who misinterpreted Anandpur resolution as Khalistan, because normally it is said, Anandpur resolution, it means a Khalistan, a total and independent state, which according to you is not the case. And even if we read the draft in black and white, other than the railways, currency and the defense, the rest of the departments, and the powers of the Vidhan Sabha, they were asking for more powers where they can decide, where they can take a political decision to decide their syllabus in schools and colleges, to decide their language and all. Am I right?
I spoke to Indiragandhi also before Operation Blue Star. That is before. I was a commentator in the Asian Games.
Please tell me that.
At that time, the crisis was brewing. It was
1982.
1982. So I was one of the team of commentators covering different events, And Rajiv Gandhi happened to be the key figure organizing the Asian Games. So I met Rajiv Gandhi also at that time. She was the chief guest at the India-Pakistan hockey final.
Hockey final.
Yeah. Before that, she had invited some people.
National Stadium, India Gate National Stadium.
I think it was NIS, yeah. National Stadium, yeah. Long time back.
Yes, yes.
So, as much as I knew about politics, I did say that the problem is not as it appears from the national media or the. At that time, the only major media was the All India Radio, Akashvani,
Yes.
So, when we talked about national media, we essentially meant that. Because Times of India and Hindustan Times and even Indian Express, despite its local edition, was hardly read in the villages, even in the cities. I think the total number of copies of Hindustan Times sold in Ludhiana at that time may not have exceeded 100.
And, and that was the time when there was no Punjab edition or Chandigarh edition of these
There was
papers.
none. There was none. Neither of the Hindustan Times nor of Times of India.
Indian Express, I think.
Indian Express had set up, a local edition, and they had a resident editor. At that time, I think Rahul Singh was the editor. So, yeah, they had, but not the other papers. So when you talked about media, national media, you actually meant All India Radio.
So I would like to know, how come, you came in front of Mrs. Gandhi, how that thing evolved?
No, she had invited a few journalists and commentators for an informal cup of tea.
Okay. During the Asian Games.
In the Asian Games.
Then you met her for the
during
first
the
time.
Asian Games. And it was purely meant for sports journalists.
Okay.
So since I was a sports journalist at that time, so I also got invited. But then during the informal chit-chat, this issue of when I was introduced as someone from Punjab and writing for papers, etc., so she casually mentioned, so what do you think about the problems in your state?
She asked you straight away.
Yeah, so she was asking different people. So it was a very casual, informal, I think more of a courtesy to a journalist than any personal thing.
But she was curious to know from you people.
It didn't seem very curious to know. It was like to get the conversation rolling, you ask someone something. So, it didn't seem to be a very serious question. It seemed like a courtesy, right? So you have to talk about something. So, she could have asked me about sports because the function was about sports, and to that extent, you're right.
But so much was happening in Punjab.
It was happening because then regarding Asian Games also, because there was a protest going on from the Akalis, and they were going to protest in Delhi against the government of India, not against the Asian Games, but against the...
to express at the global level,
at the national level. At the national
to just express.
At the national level. But if you recall, there were some incidents of harassment to eminent Punjabis in Haryana who were going to watch the Asian Games.
Bhajan Lal was the chief minister at that time.
Sorry?
Bhajan Lal.
Bhajan Lal was the chief minister at that time. Yeah.
Because what it is said that it all happened, the violence against the Sikhs in Haryana who were approaching Delhi for their dharna, for their protest during the Asian Games. They were roughed up and they were beaten, and that was all at the behest of Bhajan Lal.
At least the perception, and never denied, was that it was done at the behest of the chief minister, the then chief minister.
So, she asked you, Mrs. Gandhi asked you straight away about what's happening in Punjab.
Yeah, she said, what's happening in your state? I mean, that's how she asked casually, in a very casual way. So, what's happening in Punjab?
So, what was your reply?
So, I said that the first thing that we need to remember about Punjab is it's being misunderstood. I remember that reply. I said, first thing we need to remember about Punjab is that it's being misunderstood.
It's being misunderstood.
Misunderstood. And I said there's a desperate need to understand Punjab. At that time, this is what I thought. Because now it appears to me that it wasn't being misunderstood, it was being misused, right?
Misused, or the center was already biased against Punjab.
Not biased in the sense, I have a different theory. It was not a bias, even today. It is mischief. They understand Punjab, they know what the problem is, but they want to exploit it for their own political gains. It's not, I still don't consider it a communal bias. I think it's political opportunism.
So the center at the time of Mrs. Gandhi as the Prime Minister.
This communal angle to the problem, giving a political angle, communal angle to the problem, suits them.
So that was spread on the by the media. Can we say that?
Media, I would say, willingly or unwillingly or unwittingly, I would say, some of them consciously. I dare say that. I like Girilal Jain, for example.
Oh, I was about to say that.
Yeah, Girilal Jain. He wasn't a dumb man to be led by the nose. He knew everything.
People like Times of India.
Times of India. But the things he wrote were vicious, right? I mean, even to a man who is, I'm not prone to being communally incited. I like to keep my calm, and I look at problems from a different angle.
So Girilal Jain, the then editor-in-chief or the chief editor of the Times of India in 1982.
No, I think, see, please don't ask me to name those people, but I think you know them. What some people did in Punjab, from both sides, and I would not say only the Hindu press or the Hindi press, or only the Sikh or Punjabi press, both sides. They had their eye on circulation figures, and they exploited the sentiments on both sides. Yeah.
So yes, what exactly when you just told them that the Punjab is being
let me complete that. So when I said that the first thing we need to remember about Punjab is that it's being misunderstood, and there's a desperate need to understand. I noted down in my diary later that this is exactly what she asked, and this is exactly what I wrote. And I quoted it in my article in the Telegraph.
What was that?
No, I quoted this conversation. And she said, "You think so?" I said, "Well, there is evidence to believe it. I mean, it's not whether I think or don't think. There's evidence to believe it." So she said, then she said, "What steps would you take to rectify the situation?" I said, "First, I'll understand Punjab. Obviously, if it's being misunderstood, so I'll understand Punjab and their problem." And I said that there is a resolution. I did not say Anadpursahibresolution resolution. Consciously, I wanted her to say it. I said there's a resolution of the dominant party there, and I wasn't in touch with them at that time.
The Akali?
The Akalis. I was not in touch with them at that. I had met Mr. Badal and Mr. Banala also, but I think Mr. Banala didn't know whom he met because he was such a big figure, and I was only a local kind of a figure at that time. So I said there's a resolution being talked about which has demands, one of which is that defense should remain with the center. So any party which demands that defense should remain with the center cannot be against the unity and integrity of the country. So I was saying that any resolution which calls for defense of the country to be looked after by the union government, how can that resolution or that party which supports it be called anti-national? Any anti-national force would never talk about the defense of the country, right? And it talks about external affairs to remain with the government of India. So any party, for example, I say the government of India should look after external affairs, relations with the rest of the world, and the government of India should look after the defense of the country, which is the armed forces. How can I be called anti-national for saying so, right? There's nothing in the Anadpursahibresolution resolution which calls for disintegration. It calls for a reset, a constitutional reset within the country.
That was the time. That was the time when Punjab witnessed the killing of a very senior journalist, owner of a newspaper, Punjab Kesari, Hind Samachar group of newspapers. Lala Jagat Narayan was shot dead by the boys. When I say by the boys, it means by the militants, by the Sikh militants. So, how will you define that incident? What had actually happened? And what is your viewpoint and your analysis of this entire incident?
Incidentally, I not only covered that event, I actually saw the dead body of Lala Jagat Narayan.
In Jalandhar?
Yeah, it was in Ludhiana. about 6-7 kilometers from Ludhiana. There was, the atmosphere was very tense and there was provocation from both sides. And
So what was his writing for which he was shot dead? Actually, what was the provocation?
see, the provocation was, see, there were two sides at that time. The provocation was that his writings were perceived to be anti-Sikh, right? Why they were perceived to be anti-Sikh? Because most of the demands made by the Sikh leaders, were commented upon by him in a very provocative way, or at least was perceived to be very provocative. I don't want to blame anybody or pass judgments on anybody, but the popular perception was that the writings were biased and they were targeted against the representatives of one community, put it that way. He was opposing the political leaders who were demanding autonomy. But he was saying that they're not demanding autonomy, they are demanding separatism. That was the thrust of his writings.
Did he use the word Khalistan, and was that for the first time that the Khalistan word was used in the press?
No, not the first time. That was not the first time. It was used much, much earlier than that.
In the media itself?
In the media, because when somebody like Jagjit Singh, in the mid-70s, were talking about it, so the media did report it. Obviously, it was considered more of a joke at that time. When somebody from the Congress, a minister, talks about Khalistan, how serious can you get, right? So it was taken as a joke at that time. So slowly and slowly, other things, other grievances got added onto it and they got identified with it. Majorly by the opponents of those demands. Now, although they were saying that we are not opposing the demands, we are opposing the method of putting these demands across. And the main grievance was that these are being put forward in only the Sikh idiom and not in the Punjabi idiom, right? Not as all Punjabis demand, but as demands of the Sikhs. Some of those demands were about the Sikhs, so they had to be about the Sikhs, right? I mean, some of the demands like the demand for, one of the demands, for example, was the telecast of Gurbani, which became a normal thing later on.
From Darbar Sahib.
From Darbar Sahib.
That was the time of Doordarshan only.
Doordarshan and All India Radio.
All India Radio.
And even All India Radio and Doordarshan telecast and broadcast Gurbani quite freely later. I mean, it no longer remained an issue. But at that time, it was seen as a huge issue. And so, I mean, there was, I would say, opportunism on both sides. I'm talking about journalists. It helped them to cater to the populist emotionalism. One painted as a Punjabi Hindu being in danger, the other painted as Sikhs being in danger in the country. One party painted Hindus as being in danger in Punjab, which was untrue. Because in Punjab, you never had a mass killing. I mean, you had one incident, you can recall, one incident when the Hindus were singled out.
So even when there was an attack on RSS Shakha in Jalandhar, if I am right...
That was much later, I think. That was much later. And then there was one at Ludhiana also.
And
but that was, I think, 85. Ludhiana incident.
So, I mean, other than the three isolated incidents like the killing of Hindus, in a bus, this happened, I think, twice or thrice. Other than these incidents, the Punjab never witnessed communal riots or communal violence like we saw in 2002 in Gujarat or in 84.
No, Punjab has never seen anything of that kind.
Punjab never had
till this day. In Punjab, you've never seen mass communal violence. You've seen incidents. You've seen stray incidents. You've seen exceptions to the rule. And the rule is communal harmony in Punjab. I mean, what can be greater provocation than the highest shrine of a community being subjected to a tank attack, carrying tanks and mortars into Harmandir Sahib. And even after that, in the villages, and I'm not talking about the urban areas, I'm talking about the villages, in Gurdaspur, in Amritsar, in Majha, in Malwa, the Hindus and the Sikhs live together, and there's not a single incident on record, or even off the record,
of the communal right.
of Hindus and Sikhs attacking each other.
Just like it happened, unlike in Gujarat in 2002,
Or Delhi,
or Delhi in 84, and
or
later
Kanpur.
on, Kanpur and all.
See, I mean, in one way, you must salute Punjab. You know, I am one of those who says, "Oh, okay, don't sort of think that we are unique." But in this way, you are unique. Yeah, in the matter of communal brotherhood, there is nothing in the world to beat Punjab. It is absolutely. I mean, in the modern times, even I'll give you instances of history also, when even the Mughal repression couldn't divide Sikhs and Hindus and Muslims.
In Punjab.
In Punjab, yeah. There was Mughal repression, and yet the Hindus and Sikhs and Muslims stayed together. You know, and in 84, which I think in the modern times is the greatest provocation possible, you do not target a person. You do not target persons. You target a shrine, right? And then you say that the shrine was targeted because of the person. Were there... I wrote about it, by the way, and I also spoke about it in that seminar with Ike Gujral and Kuldeep Nair Saab. Gujral Saab, incidentally, is one of my icons. You know, I spoke about this. I said, I'm worried about the Indian Army. I'm not worried about what did on the other side. I'm worried about the Indian Army. Does it lack the capacity to take out individuals from a specified building? You already know about the building. You know everything about the building. And you lack the ability to take a person out without rolling tanks into it. That's a serious blunder and a serious admission of incapacitude. How can an army say that it cannot smoke a building to get people out? Right? Were there no alternatives? Later on, even the army experts said this, that there were alternatives, and this was an operation which was a mess from the military point of view. And I'm not talking about the religious point of view at the moment, which is a different thing. I'm talking purely from the military angle. It's something that a military cannot be proud of.
Because I think the death toll began with the killing of the army personnel. You know, the moment they tried to enter the Golden Temple, there was firing.
See, killing of the army persons is not a serious issue. You know, in an operation, anything can happen. Both sides will suffer casualties. That is okay. That is understandable. But the strategic failure to avoid collateral damage, there was more collateral damage than damage, right? In Operation Blue Star is one of those instances where there was more collateral damage than achievement, right? So, did an Indian army, with all its strategic depth, with all its strategic superiority, with all its access to information, all its good technology, fails to take 10, 20 persons out of a building without a resort to cannons and mortars and tanks? That's a serious military failure.
So when was it when you actually left teaching and joined your new job profile? You switched over and you became the team of the then Chief Minister Sukhbir Singh Badal. How it happened?
Actually, even that, actually the turning point was 84, but that was from a different angle. I'll come to that. But when I came to Mr. Barnala, I did not leave teaching. I had come only on deputation, clearly knowing that I have to go back once the government goes. And I did go back, and I did taught there for several more years in the PAU.
That was a university job?
It was a university job. I came here on deputation with the Chief Minister. And once the government was dismissed, I went back to teaching, and I taught there for 15 more years after that.
So before you, what happened after that?
Then thereafter, it was inescapable, because after 84, I had started writing on political issues also, especially Punjab, Sikh issues.
In Telegraph and the Tribune?
In the Tribune, in the Hindustan Times, Times of India, Indian Express.
So you began writing on political affairs?
Affairs, yeah. Only on Punjab issues.
Yes.
Only with regard to Punjab problem.
Did your writings catch the attention of the Akali leaders?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because the turning point came when Mr. Barnala He was in Pachmadi jail immediately after the Operation Blue Star. All Akali leaders were there. Mr. Badal was also there. So Mr. Badal and Mr. Banala was in Pachmadi jail. So he used to write to me, Mr. Banala, after reading my articles in different papers. So the first article was in the Tribune, and he wrote to me, and those letters, those 15 paisa envelopes at that time, they used to carry a stamp, censored. So to me, that was the first scary thing, right? The letter comes to me, which is censored.
What was the gist of the article to which Mr.
No, the
Banala
article was...
gist of the article.
Yeah, the gist of the article was, that the country needs a recast of its approach to nationalism. And the article itself was titled Wanted Reassertion of Sane Nationalism, right? So, and I was saying that if the killers of Mrs. Gandhi, had to be proved morally wrong, it was not done by the writers, because they only proved them right. It was done by the Hindus who came to the rescue of the Sikhs. So they created a moral argument against killing. So I said, and similarly I said in Punjab, the true message of the Gurus was carried out by the Sikhs who came forward to stand by the Hindu brethren when the provocation was extreme, right? So I said,
and there was no communal riot.
No communal rights at all.
In Punjab.
No incident of communal rights in Punjab, ever. There was one incident in which two parties, one I think was Shiv Sena or something, and the other was from perhaps Baba Khalsa or something. I don't remember the names, but say one of them was Sikh and the other was a Hindu. They came face to face in a local market, perhaps in Gurdaspur, say about 50 odd persons on one side and 50 odd persons from other side, and raised slogans and went back. Now that is a communal riot we had. Imagine. I mean, even the communal riot was peaceful. Come on. I mean, so this is Punjab. And you know why? The sane Hindu elements spoke against the Shiv Sena. And the sane Sikh elements spoke against the Sikh radicals who were gathering there. Right?
This is how the situation was.
Yeah, and this is Punjab. I mean, one of our favorite lines is Punjab jiunda Guran de naate. Right? That famous line of Bhai Veer Singh. Bhai Veer Singh? Okay. Punjab jiunda Guran de naate. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਗੁਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਿਉਂਦਾ, ਉਸ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ, ਉਸ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਅਤ ਦੀ, ਉਸ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੰਥ ਦੇ ਵਿਰੁੱਧ ਕਦ ਤੋਂ ਹੋ ਗਈ? On the one hand, you are saying that this is our homeland. Even the radicals, they want homeland here. They don't want it in Nankana Sahib. They don't want it in Punjab Sahib. They don't want it in Lahore, which was the capital of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. They want it here. So, talking about this Punjab, saying that Punjab, Punjabi, Punjabiyat, what else is Sikhism? What else is Panth? I mean, geographically speaking or politically speaking. Otherwise, Sikhism is sublime, it is universal, it's cosmic. I mean, Gagan mein Thal, Ravichan, Deepak. I mean, this is beyond geography. But okay, even geographically, since when have we started saying that talking about this Punjab and Punjabi and Punjabiyat is anti-Panth?
So, reading all that stuff, all that stuff in your articles that Mr. Barnala approached you through the letters.
So when he came out of jail, when all Akali leaders came out of jail, Mr. Badal and Mr. Barnala both. Mr. Badal had met me earlier also, not in political capacity, but he was there in Ludhiana for a function, and he was the chief minister then.
How come so that?
Because I used to write in the newspapers at that time also, but mostly on academic or sports affairs. So he had read one of these, and he had a very close associate, in Bhai Shminder Singh. Now, Bhai Shminder Singh happened to know one of my relatives. So he said, I was very young at that time. So he said to my brother-in-law, कि जो थोड़ा मुंडा लिखता बहुत सोहना है यार, वो किसी बादल साहब ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ। मेरा मुंडा ही सी मैं उस वेले, because I was only 27, 28.
Quite young.
Yeah. So, and I was reluctant to meet because I said my view of politicians at that time was hands off.
Okay.
Right. So I kept evading initially, So, but once my brother-in-law said, "Ki kaka milta le, milne ch ki hunda hai."
Then what happened?
So then I met him. He was the chief minister at that time. So
Sukhbir Singh Badal.
no, Parkash Singh Badal. Okay. He was the chief minister at that time. I'm talking the late 70s. So I met him in Ludhiana, and he was having his lunch when I went in, along with Harcharan Singh. So Harcharan Singh, I'll tell you in Punjabi because the flavor of that meeting was beautiful. Yes. He said, "Ji, aa ji budha, jida likhda hunda Angrezi vich likhda."
This is the boy who writes in English.
This is the boy who writes in Bal Sahab said, "Kaka, ajo betho khana khao." Okay. Come and have lunch with me. So no matter what my view of the politicians was, he was the chief minister of the state. So I thought probably it would be discourteous to sit next to him because I was too young at that.
Yes.
But then he sort of gently he tapped my arm and I said, "Kaka bejo." And then he sort of put he was having chicken at that time, so he put some chicken pieces in my plate.
Mr. Badal was fond of chicken.
Yeah, he was fond of chicken, and later he was fond of me. So then he said, "Kaka, I've seen your writings. I must be honest with you. I haven't read the full article, but I only read pieces. But you write very well." Then he said in Punjabi, "Kaka, Angrezi tusi kitho sikhi? Where did you learn English?" I said, "From schools and colleges, Bal Sahab." He said, "This is very good. You write so well." "Acha, Kaka, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ, I don't insist, ਪਰ ਦੇਖਿਓ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਮਦਦ ਕਰ ਸਕੋ, if you can help our party for Punjab in some way." So I laughed, inside, in my heart of hearts. How can I do anything for you because I am not even inclined towards politics.
And yes.
Then
looked at politics was something totally different,
Yeah. And then finally he said, that was Mr. Badal, at his vintage best, he just put his arm across my shoulder. And he said, "Kaka, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਪਸੰਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ." ਹਾਲਾਂਕਿ he was a very popular man at that time. He said, "People of your age, are not very fond of us. But if you get to know us," he said, "Kaka, ਮਿਲੋਗੇ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਦੀ ਸਮਝ ਵੱਧ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ." Keep meeting me so we'll understand each other better. We'll understand each other better.
This was back in 1979,
towards the end of 79, I think. Towards the end of 79, I think.
When he became the chief minister for the second time.
Second time. Yeah, second time, yeah. Third time, of course.
So then what happened, yes?
Then a couple of times he came to Ludhiana again and he sent a message. So we used to, once I did a report on a hockey match and not many knew that Mr. Badal was very fond of reading sports reports, right? So he had read that report.
He also used to play badminton in his younger days.
Yeah. And he was very fond of sports.
He once told us at a press conference.
Yeah. He was very fond of sports overall. So he had read that report and he said, "Kaka, ਅੱਜ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵਧਾਈ ਦੇਣ ਲਈ ਬੁਲਾਇਆ." That was a Tribune. My report was published on page 1 of the Tribune at that time.
And what was that?
It was about a hockey match between India and USSR.
That's all.
So he said, "I liked it very much. I liked your..." ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਾਕਾ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਮੈਚ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਿਹਾ. So he complimented me. It was sweet of him. So he slowly he wore down my opposition to politicians, right? With his charm and personal grace and humility, an amazing humility. I've never seen a person more humble than him in my life, except my mother.
He was a very different personality.
I see, he never compromised on what he thought was right, but he never let go of humility, even towards his opponents. He would speak with respect.
So, frankly, Mr. Bains, that is debatable. That's another
no, okay, no, we can say. No, I don't, I'm just giving you my opinion.
Yes. So,
since you asked me for my opinion.
You became part of his team as a media advisor or as a political advisor?
First, I became his media advisor because initially since I was associated with journalism, so it was only natural that the tag would carry on. Later on, I became advisor on national affairs and a couple of other things, but mainly national affairs and obviously media also.
After Mr. Badal's second tenure as the chief minister, the militancy came on the surface in Punjab in 80s. And then there was a break in your career as a political advisor or media advisor to the then chief minister. And later on, when the militancy was in its peak, when the militancy was at its peak, you happened to join Mr. Surjit Singh Banala, the then chief minister, in 1986.
No, in 1985.
1985.
In 1985.
How come again?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
How you reappeared?
In 1985, militancy was not at its peak. There was an election in which a party called United Akali Dal, headed by the father of late General Singh Badal, had opposed Akalis, the Shromani Akali Dal. So in that election, the people of Punjab had totally rejected the militant call and had voted for Sant Longowal's party. And it was a runaway victory. There was no contest at all.
And Mr. Banala was then the chief ministerial candidate.
He was the chief minister, face of the chief ministerial post, let us say.
And he became the chief.
He became the chief minister.
For a short tenure.
19 months.
19 months. So the Black Thunder occurred during the tenure of Mr. Banala as the chief minister.
At that time, we didn't know it's called Black Thunder. But yeah, police action took place. So-called police action, I would say, because there was hardly anything to justify that, intervention. Because as it turned out, there was nobody there. So police had failed both on the front of what shall I say, information gathering, and on execution. It was a disaster, political disaster, administrative disaster. In every way, it was a disaster.
The second entry of the army into the Golden Temple.
Army, no. It was police.
It was CRPF?
CRP stayed out. The police went in.
Gave cover to Punjab police.
Yeah, gave cover to. The army wasn't involved.
It was the CRPF which actually gave cover to the Punjab police.
Yeah.
And the Punjab police personnel entered the Golden Temple.
It was still, it was still a Punjab police operation largely because it was.
What did they found inside?
Nothing. That's why I'm calling it a disaster. No, the crisis is, the real problem is that even the police wasn't sure if there was anything.
Was there any militant inside?
They claimed that there was. See, the Panthik committee.
Panthik committee of Dr. Son Singh.
Was it led by Dr. Son Singh? No, there were other 5 members. I'll have to recall. But Panthik committee, sure.
Yes.
They had already declared what they had to declare and they had fled. So there was no justification for police going in. But the police claimed that one of their members, or maybe all of their members, and some of their allies are inside, and nothing was found. So it was both administratively and politically a disaster.
So what happened after that?
Thereafter, Mr. Banala lost his moorings as a Sikh leader, and that was the beginning of his end. In fact,
the government was toppled.
It was toppled
by the Akalis only.
No, it wasn't toppled by the Akali Dal. There was a split in the Akali Dal.
Split in the Akali Dal.
Split it in the Akali Dal. Mr. Badal formed a separate. Mr. Badal, Captain Amrinder Singh, he was in the Akali Dal at that time. Sucha Singh Chotepur, Sukhjinder Singh, and Ravinder Singh, and Basant Singh Khalsa. So these 29 members, I think, in all, they revolted. But the grapevine was that they had been assured by the centre that if you split and form a separate party, we'll support you from outside, and the other Akalis will also join you. So I'm not confirming it because it is only a grapevine.
So when the gruesome militancy slowed down, it appeared that it was not that aggressive that it used to be in 89. In 1992, Punjab witnessed the first democratic elections. Can we say that in
I can't
1992?
say that was democratic. I can't say that was democratic.
When Akalis had boycotted,
Akalis had boycotted, and
and
the
the Akalis had boycotted the elections.
polling percentage was, I think, barely about 15% or so.
15% polling percentage.
Thereabout, I think.
In 1992 Punjab Assembly elections.
Yeah, see, some people had won with the 4 or 5% votes, and it was called a 10% government.
That the Congress government that was elected to power in 1992 with the help of 10%.
Everybody knew that this is not a representative government.
At that time, you were back in teaching.
I had gone back to teaching at that time.
Back to teaching.
Okay. I used to stay in touch with Mr. Badal.
Yes. So when was it? When you started your long innings with Mr. Badal?
No, I never. In 87. See, before 80s. There's a long story, so probably it will take a long time. But I'll just cut it short. When Mr. Banala resigned as chief minister, or was dismissed as chief minister, he was later appointed as governor to Tamil Nadu, and he wanted me to accompany him. And I had said that my interest in politics in any case isn't 100%. Till then it wasn't. But I know nothing about Tamil Nadu. And you're going to be a governor, and there isn't much of a role for a media advisor for a governor in an elected government, right? So he said, anyway, you please come on, and if you like it, after 10, 15 days, you stay on, otherwise, kaka wapas aa jayo. So I said, then I'll go in an unofficial friendly capacity. So I did go with him for about 15 days. But I tell you what, when Mr. Banala's government was dismissed, one of those days, Mr. Badal met me in Punjab Assembly. And he said, "मैं सब की हाल है?" मैं कहा ठीक है काका फिर हुण इदां आ भी देखो मैं तुहानूं पहलां नहीं कहा क्योंकि बरनाला साहब भी अपने ही बंदे आ साडी पार्टी दे आ साडे डिफरेंसिस जरूर है बादल साहब दा स्टाइल जिहड़ा सी ना इट वाज वेरी डिफरेंट but he said you actually came to politics to support Punjab Sikhs and Akalis. So right now Mr. Banala is withdrawing from politics. So ਕਾਕਾ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਔਖੇ ਸੌਖੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਰੋ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੁਰਾ ਨਾ ਮੰਨੋ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰੋ ਤੋ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਜੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਮੈਂ ਐਕਟਿਵ ਪੋਲੀਟਿਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੈ he said no you come only in the advisory capacity. So despite everything, I'll cut it long. I'm cutting a story short. Yes. So we finally agreed that, okay, I'll keep meeting you and wherever I can assist, I will assist. So then that, I didn't know at that time that this will become a full-fledged involvement, right? Yes. But it became a full-fledged involvement due course of time. It was a day and night affair. So then I resigned. Then I went on a long leave from, first I was on a study leave, which sort of went neither here nor there, and I repaid the amount to the university for the study leave I had availed.
So what was that controversy where you had to repay the amount? What was it?
There is a law. There's a law that if you are on a study leave and you don't complete that study, then you have to, because it's a paid leave, you continue to draw your salary.
Yes.
So
you can't continue on both the sides. So you have to be technically also leave them.
No, technically, even morally, you have to. Otherwise, I would have resigned and not returned the money.
I got your point.
Yeah.
So, the 1997 to the year 2002, that was considered as a glorified period of the Akali BJP alliance, where Mr. Toda was also there, Jathedar Gurcharan Singh Toda, Sir Parkash Singh Badal as the Chief Minister, and Jathedar Toda as the Shromani Gurudwara Committee President. And there was a complete goody-goody bonhomie with the BJP, which continued till the second tenure of, and Captain Kanwaljit Singh was the finance minister at that time. So now looking at the current situation where the Akali Dal parted away from the BJP, Was this a mistake of the Akalis to have a political alliance with the BJP in 1997?
Not at all. I'm very clear about it. Not at all. It would be foolish to think that any alliance between two political parties who represent two different segments of the Punjab population is a wrong thing, It is an alliance, not a merger. It was absolutely... See, look at the circumstances. Circumstances were that Punjab was still going through the aftershocks of communal tension. There was no communal violence in Punjab, but there was communal tension. That cannot be denied. It was an undercurrent, which is a salute to Punjab, because they never allowed it to become the main current. Right? So it always remained an undercurrent. But the relations between the Sikhs and the Hindus in the villages, and I'm talking about the villages because villages are the core of Punjab, they remained very cordial. At worst, they may have become tense, but never broken. So to bring these two, either we have to say that Punjab belongs only to the Sikhs and to nobody else. That is not Guru Nanak's philosophy, who has put the Gurbani of Muslims, the Hindu saints, before Gurus, Kabir Sahib, Namdev, all these people, Brahmins, all the Bhatts, Kashmiri Pandits, their Gurbani is in Guru Granth Sahib.
Valmiki also.
By Guru Ravidas.
Guru Ravidas.
Yeah, you're right.
But one thing here, sir. Mr. Badal, Akali Dal, patched up with the Bahujan Samaj Party of Kashi Ramji, realizing a reality or in a given, with a given fact that Punjab has more than 33% of Dalit population, the highest ever, any state had or has. Now, don't you think that winning the Lok Sabha elections in 1996, the Akali Dal, having an alliance with the BSP, and immediately after that in 1997, just it's a kind of a throw and use and throw thing, that he cut down ties with BSP and shook hands with the BJP for 1997.
I'd like to speak about it.
Yeah, how come
First
so?
of all,
How can this be done?
I'll tell you. First of all, there are some followers of Justice Harcharan Singh Badal who keep falsely claiming, I underline falsely, in capital words, that Mr. Badal wanted alliance with BSP to continue and he was against alliance with the BJP. This is what Mr. Badal's so-called followers these days.
Or the poetry of Mr. Badal.
These, the post-Badal Sahib, after Badal Sahib's death. They say that Mr. Badal wanted alliance with BSP to continue and he opposed the alliance with the BJP. The fact is that the alliance with the BJP happened because of Mr. Badal. The proximity of Mr. Badal to BJP is nothing hidden from anyone. Proximity. Wait, I'll tell you. Let them deny it. Proximity of Justice Harcharan Singh Badal to lkadwani is an open secret, right? And when did Mr. Badal ever come on record to say that we should have an alliance with BSP and not with BJP? Show me one statement by Justice Badal. So, on what ground? And he continued to be a part of the government. The government of 1997 was formed by Mr. Parkash Singh Badal and Justice Harcharan Singh Badal together. And Mr. Badal and Madan Lal Khurana campaigned together. Mr. Badal and all the BJP leaders held press conferences together. Wait a second.
Even if it is not it is not Sardar Parkash Singh Badal. We are not fixing onus on
No, I'm coming to that. I'm just exploding a myth. The myth that Mr. Badal alone was responsible for the BJP alliance and Mr. Badal dumped. You never say Akalis dumped, you say Mr. Badal dumped, right?
Yes, we do say that.
It was a party decision of which Mr. Badal was an important part. He was not a sort of...
But as an analyst, you said that this was not a...
No, I'll give you reasons for that. Number one, they say the Akali BSP alliance was so successful, we swept the...
I think 12 out of 13 seats,
Okay, right? And in 1997, the same Akali swept the election with BJP.
They discarded the BSP.
No, I'm saying as far as the result is concerned. As far as the result is concerned, if BJP, if BSP and Akalis had swept the elections, so had Akalis and BJP. So as far as the result is concerned, you cannot say that the alliance with BSP was more successful. Because Akalis won 92 seats with BJP. Am I right?
Yes.
So number one, the argument that the alliance with BSP was natural and we more successful is wrong, because the same Akalis under the same leadership won 92 seats with BJP, along with BJP. B. BSP never focused on Punjab. They disintegrated. Suppose the Akalis had formed an alliance with the BJP. Did that mean that the BSP should disappear? At least they could have retained their independent identity. The fact is that the BSP on its own disintegrated. It was only the Akali wave at that time, combined with the BSP, which was leading to these results. The same Akali wave combined with the BJP led to the same results, which means the wave at that time was in fact pro-Akali. Secondly, the BSP. BSP needed to put its house in order, which it hasn't done even till today, right? They should have won at least, if they win 8 seats with Akalis or 12 seats with Akalis, they should win at least 3 seats without them, right, to prove their credentials. So A. B. The notion that thank you so much. It reminds me of something. Some people say Mr. Badal gave unconditional support to BJP.
At the center.
At the center, which is absolutely false.
Any instance?
I'm telling you, I was present there. What happened was this. There was a press conference in Punjab Bhavan, Delhi. On the ground floor, I even recall that room, which is the first room to the right. I don't remember the number now, but the first room, if you enter the first room to the right, there was a press conference by Mr. Badal and other Akali leaders, where it was declared that we are going to support Mr. Bajpai, because we were opposing the Congress at that time.
Yes.
We wanted an anti-Congress government. Now, the only anti-Congress government that looked like coming, not with Akali support, because we are only at the most 13 seats. If we win all seats, then we are 13. You need 272 seats there, right? So they were coming close to forming a government, and with Akali support, they could have formed. So if you have to kick Congress out, then you have to support a party which can form a government. So BJP looked like doing that at that time. So Mr. Badal said that we are going to oppose the Congress and support the opponent alliance, the opposition alliance, led by the BJP. There was a question by the Hindustan Times editor, correspondent there. What would you demand for your party in return for this support? The question was in English, but Mr. Badal's reply was in Punjabi, and I narrated in Punjabi because that was how he spoke. He said, कि काका असी जदों किसी दी बांह फड़ी दी है ना, ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ਰਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਾਈ ਦੀਆਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਲਈ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਗ ਰਹੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਕਾਕਾ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਵਜ਼ੀਰੀਆਂ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ, ਕਿੰਨਾ ਆਹ ਲਵਾਂਗੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਣਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਅਨਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨਲ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ। ਦੈਟ ਮੀਨਸ ਅਨਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨਲ ਮੀਨਸ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਵਜ਼ੀਰੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਗ ਰਹੇ। Now, some people later on turned this around and said that unconditional meant that he's demanding nothing for Punjab. Punjab has got the maximum benefits through Mr. Badal from BJP governments, and I'll give you examples. And I'll give you material and emotional examples, psychological, material, emotional and political examples. Material, the biggest investment in Punjab ever since 1966. And even before that, with just one exception, the Bhakhara Dam. With that one exception, the biggest investment, one-time investment in Punjab ever is the Bathinda refinery. 22,000 crores at that time. Scaled to modern, correcting for inflation, it would come to roughly 4-5 lakh crores today. It came to, and it's the biggest project even today. It came through the Akali government with the BJP. Mr. Vajpayee, he came and inaugurated it, right? No other government, no Congress government has given even 1/10 of that. A. B. I come to the emotional side. Do you remember that the biggest grouse the Sikhs have had against Congress is the Operation Blue Star?
And or the killings of the Sikhs in 84.
And 84, absolutely. These two. About the Operation Blue Star, the major argument was that the country's army turned against the countrymen, right?
And even the BJP also supported this army.
And I'm coming to that. I'm coming to the same BJP. So the argument is that the Indian army, which is supposed to protect us, was turned against us, right? Which is a fact, which should never be contested. Okay, it's acknowledged and it's beyond doubt that this should never have happened. When we had this 300 years of the Khalsa at Anandpur Sahib in 1999, remember? And I'm giving you something personal now.
Please.
I had a talk with Mr. Badal before that, say around 1998, mid-1998. I requested Mr. Badal, I said, here is a good opportunity. The 300 years. I said all central leaders should come.
Vajpayee was the Prime Minister?
He was the Prime Minister. Mr. Badal said, yeah, that's a good suggestion. As he would say, Kaka badhiya dasya tusi, changa manu yaad karata. That's how he said. That means that unhone dimag ch aappe vi siga. He had himself thought about it, but then he said, in any case, he was being courteous to me. He said, thank you for reminding me. And then I gave another suggestion. I said, Badal Sahab, the main grouse, the main hurt Sikh psyche is because of the reason that the army, to which we contribute so heavily, and we have fought and died for the country, we take pride that the maximum sacrifices have been made by the Sikhs in defense of the country. But the same army turned against us. So I said, here is an opportunity to correct that blunder. He said, how? I said, at that time, I said in Punjabi, I will later translate kar danga. I said, Badal Sahab, udo faujaਂ ਚੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਆਈਆਂ ਸੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਰੁੱਧ। ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਫੌਜਾਂ ਨਤਮਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਆਣ ਤਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਜਜ਼ਬਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਠੇਸ ਵੱਜੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਮਰਮ ਲੱਗੇਗੀ। He said, how? I said, if all the three heads of the three forces, Army, Navy, and Air Force, if all the chiefs, all the chief of the Army Staff, chief of the Indian Air Force, chief of the Indian Navy, come and pay regards at Anandpur Sahib and speak a few words which should convey that they are beholden to the Sikhs, it will be a great idea. And Mr. Badal's immediate response was, Kaka gal ta bahut soni hai. But Prime Minister Sahib ne manna nahi. He said the PM will not agree. I said, why wouldn't he agree? He said, because the tradition is that the army heads don't go to any religious or political function. I said, that is true. For a moment, even I was demoralized, or let us say, dispirited. But then I said, Badal Sahib, it's true. It's true the army people never go to any political function and not to any religious function. But what's the harm trying? He said, kiਵੇਂ ਜੀ? ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ, ਵਾਜਪਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਲ, ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਮੰਨ ਹੀ ਜਾਣ। ਬਾਦਲ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, ਕਾਕਾ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੂੰਗਾ, ਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਣਗੇ, ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਇਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਰਮੀ ਜਾਂ ਆਰਮਡ ਫੋਰਸਿਸ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੋਕੋਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਅਗੇਂਸਟ ਹੈ। I said, ਚਲੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਣਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਣਗੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰ ਲਈਏ। And Badal Sahib agreed. I felt that Mr. Badal had agreed in the beginning. He was only sort of probing me to find counter arguments in case PM objects to it. So Mr. Badal took up the matter with Mr. Vajpayee, and Mr. Vajpayee gave exactly the same reply as we had anticipated. He said कि बात तो अच्छी है जी, लेकिन ये प्रोटोकॉल अलाउ नहीं करेगा, तो इसलिए मुश्किल है बादल साहब. And Badal साहब said, kindly consider it. It's a huge thing. It concerns, the psychology, the psyche of the Sikhs. And बादल साहब ने हिंदी में कहा, सर इससे वाजपेयी साहब इससे पूरे देश में माहौल ठीक हो जाएगा. तो that's where we met. The matter was left and we came out. बादल साहब said in his car, काका मैनू लगदा वाजपेयी साहब मान जाणगे. I was sort of doubtful. But by the time we reached Chandigarh, Vajpayee Sahib called Mr. Badal to say that I have spoken to the three heads of the forces.
Army, Navy and Air Force. Yeah.
And all of them have agreed. And all three chiefs came to Anandpur Sahib. Why is this important? Some people would say, oh, it is nothing. I want to tell you why this is important. A, because of the background which I have said. B, up till this day, up till today, no army chief, no air force chief, no naval chief has ever gone to any religious function, including the Ram temple, Ram Mandir. Even there, no army person went. The Ram temple is considered to be the biggest religious event of the Sikhs, of the Hindus since times immemorial, right? No army chief went there. Yeah, all army, naval and air chief came to Anandpur Sahib
in 1999.
Paid there, and they said, and the army chief said, कि इस कौम का कर्जा देश कभी उतार ही नहीं सकता.
In English?
No, he said it in Hindi. That is why I'm using that word. He's spoken.
Do we have to translate this?
Yeah, he said that the country can never repay the debt it owes to the Sikhs.
The army chief said.
The army chief said that, right? And it's a political speech coming from the army chief, right? Here we set up the Viraste Khalsa.
That is the...
Yeah, right. Created by whom?
Got it.
The same person who created the Holocaust Museum in New York, which is considered the world's greatest.
Homism, Moshe
Safdie. We brought him from, that's where I went with Mr. Badal.
Actually, one abrupt question here, Mr. Badal. Sorry, because to me it's an interesting...
why I'm saying this, all these are things done during Akali BJP alliance.
One abrupt question here.
Yeah, please. Why only one? There should be many more.
Okay. You talked about the BJP.
Yeah.
What different the BJP is from the era of Atal Bihari Vajpayee as a Prime Minister and the present BJP under the Prime Ministership of Narendra Modi?
See, one example would be enough. If Mr. Vajpayee had been the Prime Minister today, the Sahibzada Shahadat Divas would be Sahibzada Shahadat Divas. It would not be Veer Bal Divas if Mr. Vajpayee was the president. To this, I would say, good that you're acknowledging the martyrdom of Sahibzadas, but what stops you from calling it by the name by which the community calls it? Right? And why this stubbornness? It is Sahibzadas belong to this place. Sahibzada belong to, they belong to the entire mankind, agree. But one community treats them as theirs. So why not listen to that community? So this is the difference. So there are differences. See, everybody has weaknesses and everybody has strengths. Okay. So one weakness which I find in the present Prime Minister is this stubborn, insistence on not recognizing the unique identity, let us say, of different groups in the country, including the Sikhs. This, I think, needs correction. Yeah.
At the national level, we say, don't you think that the present BJP is much more shrill, much more communal and much more crude and especially, in curbing the Muslim community, and at the same time trying to, when it is said, it is buzz in the air in Punjab that the RSS is trying to assimilate the Sikhs into Hinduism.
See, I don't disagree with that, but I put it differently. Why should the Sikhs allow themselves to be assimilated? Sikhs are a unique, confident community. I mean, it's difficult to find one better than them, right? Better than the Sikhs. A community more proud of its identity, its heritage. So if the Sikhs, those who allow themselves to be diluted, it is for them to introspect. They can't dilute you. They can't dilute me. Right? They can't dilute the Akalis. You know? Akalis can have an alliance.
But you agree to this, buzz?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It is obvious. It is obvious. And it's a blunder. It's a blunder not only against the minorities, but against the country. Because once you set a brother against brother, you are weakening the family.
One more question. Why Akali Dal voted in favor of annulment of Article 370, knowing that...
No, I have a very...
Knowing, let me please finish the question first.
Yeah, please.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Knowing,
no, carry on.
Knowing very much that this is against the spirit of federalism, more powers to the state.
It isn't. It isn't. That is a misunderstanding.
It's a sacrilege.
No, it isn't. It isn't. It absolutely isn't. I think we need to be very clear on this as educated people. Article 370 has nothing to do with federalism. It's a favor given to one state. Federalism is about all states. Wait a second. If the demand is that all states should be given 370, I'll support it.
So what's wrong in that?
No, there's nothing wrong if all the states... if all the states get it, nothing wrong with it.
It is rather all the more good. You agree to that?
No, I say give it to all the states. I support that.
On the lines of Anandpur Sahib resolution, it will be like
I say give it to all the states. Article 370 abolition is wrong. Okay. And it needs to be put in perspective why it is wrong. It is not wrong because it is against Anandpur Sahib resolution, because Anandpur Sahib resolution does not support 370.
But Anandpur Sahib resolution was also for the people of Punjab only.
Not only for the people of Punjab. No, that is what I'm saying. This is the whole thing.
No, Anandpur Sahib resolution is not talking about the Indian constitution.
It is talking about the Indian constitution. It is talking about the Indian external affairs, not only for Punjab. Defense, not only for Punjab. Currency, not only for Punjab. Right? Any other thing, that Anandpur Sahib resolution, except the demands peculiar to Punjab, right? Like Chandigarh. For example, you can't give Chandigarh to Kerala. Obviously, it is Punjab related. But all the demands about the country are about the constitution. Article 370 does not relate to Punjab. Article 370 is a battle which J&K should fight. Right? If they say, if the J&K says give 370 to Punjab also, then I'll say, okay, give it to both.
Then you are for that?
Obviously not. Obviously, yes. Why not? But why should I support a state which is not willing to support me?
But Kashmir is having a different history, you know that. We all know that.
What?
Kashmir has a different history.
No, I say...
When it comes to Article 370,
no, I
it
said...
has a different history.
No, I said I'm trying to lend clarity to it. I am opposing Article 370 abolition, but not on the ground that it is bad for Punjab, right? I'm saying it creates a rift between the people of J&K and the country.
Yes, Akali Dal seems to be not so vocal in the Vidhan Sabha, Punjab Vidhan Sabha. What is the reason for that?
Why are you asking me?
How many MLAs right now?
See, you should ask me directly what is the status of the Akali MLAs, right? So I'll tell you.
It is not the question.
So we have 3 MLAs. We have 3 MLAs.
And if you could name them, please.
Yes, Sukhwinder Sukhi, Majithia Sahab's wife. And
Vineet Kaur Majithia.
Vineet, Manpreet Singh Ali.
When Sukhpal Singh Khera could stand on his own without even having a consensus within the Congress on its new bill that domicile of Punjab, whatever, can only buy the land in Punjab, this should be an act. On such issues, if this guy Khera can stand alone, not even taking care of the fact that there is no such consensus within the Congress. Why the three MLAs
I
of the
have,
Akali Dal
I
are
have
so
no,
silent on these issues?
I have no shame in admitting that we have an intra-party problem when it comes to our legislators. As a matter of fact, one of them has resigned, Sukhbinder Singh Badal. Good man, but he has resigned from the
It's
party.
still under
And
consideration.
as far as he is concerned, he's no longer with the Akali Dal. As far as he is concerned, constitutionally, legally, he's still an Akali, right? But he says he's resigned. Manpreet Ayali, for reasons best known to him, loves to remain ambivalent on where he is, with us, against us, in the Vidhan Sabha, outside the Vidhan Sabha. So we have that intra-party
They are the
problem.
rebels.
So that leaves only Mrs. Majeethia. Okay, Mrs. Majeethia is a fresher, a new legislator, and everybody has his style. Everybody is not Navjot Sidhu, everybody is not Parkash Singh Badal, although I don't mean that Navjot Sidhu, is anywhere close to Mr. Badal, but I mean everybody has a unique style. Madam Majeethia has her own style of doing things. I mean,
As you said, she is the new entrant.
new entrant. So we have that intra-party problem.
It is said that Sukhbir Singh Badal can never replace as a leader of the people of Punjab when it comes to his father Parkash Singh Badal.
I think as far as talking about replacements is concerned, Mr. Badal is irreplaceable by anyone, not by Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal only. I don't see anyone around in near future, because it takes a century to create a Badal, right? Much longer than that. See, I can give you instance. People would say, yaar, ye to Badalan di chamchagiri karda hai, te blah, but I speak only on facts. The things that Mr. Badal has done and can be counted and cannot be, cannot be denied are things which nobody has done since Maharaj Ranjit Singh. And he's the only one, talking about the Sikh preservation of Sikh heritage. See, one way is to raise loud slogans, asi chak dange, asi maar dange, asi fatte kar dange. What is your contribution to the community, right? Look at Mr. Badal's contribution to the community and to the state, okay? हाँ, cynicism च गल करनी है जी, हाँ जी, इन्हां दी तां देन है जी, इन्होंने बेअदबी कराई जी, ये कीता जी, that is political sloganeering. But when you talk of hard facts, the things Mr. Badal has done for the Sikhs, it can't even be imagined that somebody else can do it. Bringing all army chiefs there, making Raste Khalsa, right? Preserving all the heritage sites, right? Reviving Sikhism, the World Sikh University. I mean, who had thought about these things since 1947?
What were the reasons for
talking about Mr. Badal.
Yes.
Talking about Mr. Sukhbir Badal. Sukhbir Singh Badal is not and need not be a replacement for Mr. Badal. Sukhbir Singh Badal has a vision of his own, which is different from Mr. Badal's, but is equally constructive.
What is
and
that
equally,
vision?
no, I'm coming to that. That is why I started talking about it. The dynamism he possesses, the futuristic vision he had, Mr. Badal probably didn't even need it, because he was actually trying to preserve things before building on it. He has preserved those things. He created the ground for Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal to now build a superstructure on it. Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal's superstructure would be futuristic. We can see it. We can see it in Mohali. We can see it in the international airport. We can see it in the Virasat Marg.
At a time when there have been good number of Akali Dal leaders who are annoyed and who are parted ways.
These things will go on. These things will go on. See,
Prem Singh Chandu Majra, Bibi Jagir Kaur, even Manpreet Ayali, as you named, such leaders, who have always been standing by the senior Badal, by the side of the senior Badal. They have been at the back of senior Badal as a strength of the people of the state in their respective constituency. But this is not happening. This is not happening during the tenure of Sukhbir Badal as the president of the
no,
party.
it didn't happen even during Mr. Badal's time. Mr. Trivandi opposed him. Mr. Badala opposed him. Senior Badala Sahab. I'm talking about the senior Badal Sahab now. Senior Badala Sahib opposed him. Senior Toda Sahib opposed him. There is a junior Toda also. Khalsa ji opposed him. Okay. You name any of Sukhjinder Singh opposed him. Wait a second. They all opposed Mr. Badal. Okay. And all these people you are naming, Chandu Majra Sahib, Bibi Jagir Kaur ji, Badala Sahib, the junior Badala Sahib, or Parminder Dhinsa, or you name anyone. All these people have remained with Mr. Badal, Sukhbir Singh Badal, even after 2 defeats. So their leaving the party has nothing to do either with the allegations against the or Beadbi, because they stayed with the party even after 2 defeats on the same issue.
Okay,
Wait a second, let me complete. Nor did they leave the party on these issues. They left the party saying Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal's leadership is not good. Okay, that's why they left. They never said we are.
They said so. Yes.
Sorry?
They said so. Yes.
They said so.
Yes.
But the same, one of them, okay, if you want me to name him, Manpreet Singh Ayali. I saw his interview the other day in which he says, Akali Dal is good, but Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal, minus Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal, it's okay. But I have told Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal that I am personally with you. To the extent, not just personally with you, even politically with you. He says, form a different party, I'll come with you. If you are willing to come with Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal in a different party, then all that you want now is Akali Dal to be destroyed. You will leave Akali Dal, Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal will leave Akali Dal. Will Akali Dal be strengthened? So if you are willing to accept Mr. Sukhbir Singh Badal in a different party, that means you have nothing against Sukhbir Singh Badal. Right? So their decisions to leave the party were opportunistic. Besides, look at the contradiction. One religious leader, okay, let me name him, Gyani Harpreet Singh Ji, declares from the precincts of Shri Akaltakhat Sahib that all these leaders have lost the moral right
to continue,
to govern, to lead. Days later, he becomes the leader of the same group. He had not named only Sukhbir Singh Badal. He had said all these leaders have lost the moral right to lead the community. 15 days later, he chooses the same leaders to form a new party. So they are leaving Akali Dal just as Mr. Toda. See, the tallest leader, in my view, tallest leader in our lifetime, apart from Mr. Badal, because who was a super statesman. I mean, he cannot be compared with anyone. But the tallest leader, tallest Panthic leader or tallest political leader after Mr. Badal, or let us say, I would say even in some ways, even with Mr. Badal, the tallest leader is Harcharan Singh Toda, right? And he left Mr. Badal, okay? He left Mr. Badal not once but several times, right? So these things will happen, but Mr. Badal still emerged, remained strong, remained Chief Minister 3 times after that. So if even Mr. Harcharan Singh Toda leaving Akali Dal had finally to realize his mistake and come back, who are these Johnnies?
Okay, then if we take the question like this.
Yeah.
After the December 2 declaration from the temporal seat of the Akaltakhat, that there is a need of reformation, of transformation within the Akali Dal, and there is a need of introspection. So, in the face of that, if we do not individualize this issue, if we stick to this larger message,
yes.
What kind of introspection the Akali Dal, led by Sukhbir Singh Badal, is going on? What kind of introspection is taking? Is there any introspection that is taking place in the party of Sukhbir Badal?
First of all, I agree with you that not only for the Akali Dal, for every party, there is always a need for introspection. People commit mistakes, parties commit mistakes, leaders commit mistakes. To keep saying that, no, we are perfect is foolish, right? Any party, Sukhbir Singh Badal or Harcharan Singh Toda or Parkash Singh Badal or anybody. In fact, Parkash Singh Badal and Toda have never said this, that we do not commit mistakes. But these leaders generally say that. So there is always a need for introspection. Is introspection going on? Yes. The biggest proof of that was the setting up of the Junta Committee, right? Now, the Junta Committee was set up for introspection, and they came up with a report which gave certain recommendations
Yes.
on the basis of their observation that
Yes.
people feel that Akali Dal needs a change of faces at the leadership level. Now, they did not say Sukhbir Singh Badal needs to be changed. They said, okay,
But we all know who are the faces who are leading
all
the
of
party
them,
right
all
now.
of them, all of them. So it was for these people to get together in the core committee, which they did, and say that let us all of us retire. What they did was Sukhbir Singh Badal alone should retire. So they lost the moral ground to introspect. Now, okay,
Each one of
I am not saying
Each
quit.
one of them.
I am not each one of them. I'm not saying retiring or quitting is the way. Correction is the way. All of them should have stayed together, should have understood that these are the things which people want. Let us get together, go back to the people and say, okay, these mistakes have been committed. We want to rectify them. We want to behave differently in future. All of us were together in this, and all of us will be together in future. We come to you as our last chance to seek forgiveness and rectify. All of them. But if they start quarreling among themselves, then at least your bona fides get questioned. Even now, in not only in Shromani Akali Dal, or not only in our opponents, but in Akali Dal and in the opponents, there still needs to be an introspection on whether we are going, whether it's the right path, whether we're committing mistakes. You will always commit mistakes. I take it that you'll always commit mistakes, but you should always be ready to accept and correct.
In 2022, Vidhan Sabha elections, Punjab Assembly elections, what were the reasons that Akali Dal lost so badly?
Not only 2022, even 2017.
After the Congress regime, people were looking for a change.
No, that change that they brought about.
No, that they brought
They
about
were
by
looking-
bringing AAP. No, it is not the question of what AAP is doing. AAP might be doing a role of, might be just playing the role of a villain of Punjab. We can have an agreement on this, but at the same time, after continuation of the Congress for 10 years, the people of the Punjab rejected Akali Dal. What was the reason?
Not 10 years, 5 years, but okay, I get your point. It comes to the same point, that enough introspection and enough correction still needed to be done. Had that been done, or had the entire party gotten together, the Junta Committee was set up, and then
But that was
recommendations
never
were made. No, I'm just saying.
Where is that report?
No,
That
no,
report was not discussed in public.
No. Junta Sahab made the report. What is stopping him from making it public?
No, but the onus is on the leaders.
He is the author.
He is the author. He had to submit the report.
So he submitted the report. It is a party decision to disclose as much as the party disclosed, and to that decision, Mr. Jhunda, Mr. Parminder Singh Dhinsa, Mr. Jagir Kaur, Bibi Jagir Kaur ji, all these leaders, Chandu Majra Sahab, Rakhda Sahab, they were all party to the decision to what to release, what not to release. Okay, and in any case, these things are intra-party. These things are always done for the party. But okay, if you want to release it, it was for the party to decide.
Don't you think that the Junta Committee report on the introspection of the Akali Dal is needed to be brought up in public domain?
See, every political party makes internal assessments, internal surveys, and so much so they even go to the extent of finding out which leader is more popular, which is not, etc., etc. But much of these findings are meant for internal party use. Some of these findings which relate to decisions regarding the people, they need to be released, and they were released. Okay. Now, if something critical was hidden, nothing should stop these Jhunda Sahab and Ali Sahab and Parminder Singh from releasing it. They can release it now. Nobody
They
can
have
stop
an
them.
access to the report.
They made the report, so they have the access.
They were the authors of the report.
They were the authors of it.
Chunda Sahab was
Sukhbir Singh Badal did not write the report.
author.
Sukhbir Singh Badal merely accepted the report, right?
Accepted.
Yeah, the whole core committee of which was chaired by Sir Sukhbir Singh Badal accepted the report.
So what kind of introspection is going?
No, the introspection is the
Going
same. See, where have we gone wrong and how to rectify that?
If you can just explain that, what
See,
went wrong actually, please.
See, I am not one of those who will make excuses, right? I would not say, oh, our opponents lied and so we lost. Yes, they lied, but okay, we also failed in conveying our own thing. So certain things, certain policy decisions, and I cannot divulge everything because those are party decisions. Certain party decisions, certain approach, certain decisions, certain line to be taken, these things are always discussed that we went wrong here, we need to correct it. We are all human, sometimes we want to correct it and we try to correct it and we still fail, right? This process goes on. I will be foolish to say that there's no need for any change in Akali Dal policies or etc. There's always a need for improvement. And those improvements must be undertaken from day to day, right? That's a necessary part. But everything cannot be divulged by any political party, any organization, any institution. Some of the things are meant for internal consumption. Some of the things which pertain to the people must be shared with the people.
You have a vast experience of moving with the 3 different chief ministers and knowing the bureaucracy so well. Is it the bureaucracy that is making the ministers corrupt, or are these the ruling politicians who are making bureaucrats corrupt?
Neither. Neither the politicians are making bureaucrats corrupt.
Corruption is prevailing.
Absolutely.
To a large extent.
No question about that. Absolutely, yes. But I do not believe that by changing a puller or by changing, let's not name people, okay, by changing faces, you can change.
Even this MLA Singla of
so, okay, let's not name.
Area.
So I don't want to get partisan on this. I don't want to. I say there is corruption, okay, and let's talk about how to remove that.
What is the hitch of calling the present Aam Aadmi government as a corrupt?
No, it will appear like I'm just defending the Akalis. No, I mean the obvious. Right?
Yeah, even corruption used to prevail during the Akali government also, in the Congress regime also.
So I'm saying that let's talk about the problem. So that is why I'm refraining.
I ask you this question about the ruling politicians simply because no government ever of any political party has been able to wash its hands off from this allegation of corruption.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. But now let's look at how to address it.
Yeah, my question
that is more important.
Onus is on the bureaucracy.
So see, what will happen is I will keep calling Aam Aadmi Party corrupt. They'll keep calling me corrupt, right? And we'll get nowhere.
Okay, you please.
Okay. So I think first of all, in idealism, people have already talked big, and so let's not repeat that. We need to get down to. It's a long process. I'll look like shirking responsibility, but I'm not. We need to create a society where accountability becomes inescapable. Like how can a panch and a sarpanch be corrupt and still get re-elected? Right? And it happens.
It happens.
Right? Now, panch and sarpanch is not someone on whose your life depends. Right? But even they can get away with corruption. And then your legislators, MLAs, right? They get away with corruption. Then your deputy commissioners, then your SSPs, and then your SHOs, then your ASIs, they get away with it. Everybody knows about it. Everybody talks about it. But nobody is willing to do anything about it. So what do you do? So I think there's no switch on, switch off solution to this. It again boils down to education. You create an environment in which corruption becomes infamous, in which people feel ashamed to be corrupt, right? That society already exists in several countries. In the West, it's not that there's no corruption, but corruption, like we say character, in our country, we link character only with sex. A sex scandal can finish you, but a corruption scandal doesn't finish you. So character doesn't mean only that. Character means being upright, integrity, honesty. So if a person is honest and is backed by the people, he doesn't need money to get your votes, right? And I'm not blaming the people. So let it not sound like I'm saying only people are responsible. They're not. They are. It's a vicious cycle. See, they have to indulge in corruption because the work doesn't get done. And the work doesn't get done because the people who have to do the work know that people will indulge in corruption to get it done. So people will bribe us. So somewhere it's a vicious cycle that has gone on for, I mean, at least since the independence, 1947. There's
It has increased manifold.
It has only been getting worse.
The corruption.
So we need awareness in the media also. How much does the media, like, glad that you talked about corruption? But how many programs do you see on corruption?
No, we have a Godi media here.
See, Godi media,
Godi media in Punjab also is there.
Godi media's main sin, or in Punjab also, their main sin is remaining, say, closed and keep their eyes shut and be close to the powers that be.
But there
whatever.
are a few journalists who have all the guts to leave their jobs and start something on their own, so
That-
that they can
those
work
are the
honestly.
Those are the one that I'll worship.
But
No.
no minister ever, resigned on for being blamed, for corruption or allegations, unless and until he or she comes clean on this issue.
See, I'm putting the whole thing in a wider perspective. The corrupt and those who tolerate corruption, and not only tolerate corruption, in fact take part in it, are equally to blame, right? So I'm not saying blame the person, poor man who has to get his work done, so he has to pay. Yeah, poor man has to pay and get his work done, yes. But what are the civil society groups doing? No, I listened to a human rights activist the other day in press club, and he's a human rights activist. And he says the only way to keep peace in Punjab is give Kalashnikovs to everyone. Now, if this is your mindset, if this is how you fight corruption, make everybody corrupt, right? So you need awareness, and awareness must begin from school. It must be seen by the children that corruption ਤੇ ਸੈਕਸ ਸਕੈਂਡਲ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਕਰਪਸ਼ਨ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬਦਨਾਮੀ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਫੀਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ everybody knows that you have built a big house with corrupt money, okay, but people come to your house and people respect you and ਪਿੱਛੇ ਵੀ ਕਹੀ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਜੀ ਇਹਨੇ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਪਰ ਨਾਲੇ ਤੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਵੀ ਕਰਾਈ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. So this cycle has to stop.
Yes.
So make laws more strict, yeah, to punish those who are already corrupt. But create an environment for future also that people, it should become totally unfashionable. It should become insufferable to be corrupt and be called out.
So thank you very much, Mr. Bains, and once again, thanks a lot for coming all the way for this podcast.
Highly honored.
And it seems that you have talked from the core of your heart, and it was a very frank interview. And so that was Mr. Bains, Mr. Harcharan Singh Bains for our podcast today. You have heard him. If you have heard him, 2-3 main points which I can immediately recollect of this interview. The gist is that the people of the country and the people of the state of Punjab specifically need introspection, and political parties also need introspection. If we want corruption to be eradicated, if we want the country to get rid of communalism, this is one way of realizing unity in diversity. That was Mr. Bains. He also said, he rightly pointed out that the Akali Dal, the only regional party of Punjab, which is the second oldest party in the country, needed an introspection and is going through an acid test right now. Okay, Mr. Bains, am I right on that?
Yeah.
Yes. So that was the message. If you really like this conversation and if you think it is worth, kindly share this, share it, like it, and share it with other people so that this talk can reach out to people, across the country and abroad, and to know what Punjab is going through right now. As Mr. Bains rightly pointed out, that all is not well with Punjab and all is not well in the country as well. And also subscribe our channel Story Talk. While subscribing the channel, don't forget to press the bell icon button so that the notification of our next story, whether it's a field story, investigative story, or the podcast interview, can appear on your cell phone if you press the bell icon button while subscribing the channel. Thank you very much again. I am Prabjeet from the Story Talk. Thank you.